What's up guys, Cannondany here. I'd like to welcome you to our different studio. That's the best studio that we could imagine, which is the forest. I'm doing just some fun ride today and I'd like to tell you just a bit about, maybe not training, we're gonna do lots of episodes about training. This one is just about preparing to your first 100 miles ride. Now let me just get this straight. We're not talking about competing on 100 miles, we're talking about a 100-mile ride, and that's a huge difference. If you've never done this, I have really good news for you. It's not really complicated, and don't think right now, don't just try to assume that maybe you are a heavy rider, you're not very fit, and 100 miles would be a lot. Yes, 100 miles is quite a lot, but bicycle, your bike, mountain bike, road bike is a very efficient way of transportation for us. And believe me, if you do what I'm telling you on this episode, it will be maybe not a piece of cake, but a wonderful experience for you, and it could be very encouraging for you to stick to cycling and really have fun. So two things. We are not talking about fitness level, we're not talking about VO2 max, we're not talking about your weight and so on. Just two things that can really surprise a newbies when going for 100 miles. The number one thing is, maybe not number one, but the one of those two is position on your bicycle. I mean, when you feel a back pain, arms pain, when you feel some foot numbness or any kind of pain, like your butt is really giving you some pain, it doesn't mean that you're not on the right fitness level to do 100 miles. It just means your body hasn't got used to the position on bicycle just yet, because it's quite different from what we do, like, daily, like walking, sitting, or lying down. We're just cycling now. So my upper body is being supported by my arms, and my butt is sitting on something. It's a bicycle saddle that doesn't really look like a nice comfortable chair, but it is comfortable for long rides, believe me. So it's just the position on the bike that gives you pain. That's why you have to get used to it, and to get used to it you have to be cycling like regularly. Doesn't mean you have to do like 50-80 miles 3 times a week to prepare for 100 miles. It means like 3, I would say, if you're able to do like 3 times a week, maybe during a working day, some really short ride, like maybe 1.5 hours, something like that. And then Saturday, let's say you're gonna be able to do 2 hours. And then Sunday, if you can, even longer. After like 4, 5, 6 weeks, you will really feel comfortable on your bike. And that will also give you a nice feedback from your body about your bike. Maybe you will feel that you don't want to be super aerodynamic, you want to have your handlebars higher. Maybe you will really understand that your super soft, like spongy and wide saddle isn't really comfortable. Maybe you would like to try something else, like I do have on my bike. So the first thing, get the chance, make your body just adapt to the position on the bike. You don't have to be super fit, just get used to the position on the bike. And the second one, super important, is your fuel. And I mean, by fuel, I mean water and food, nutrition. I don't know why, but it happened to me as well when I was a newbie here in cycling, is that we don't really think a lot about eating while cycling. So maybe we think that just a couple of bananas or just 2 or 3 sandwiches and some water on your back will be enough. Well, it's not. If you're going to ride much longer than 1 hour ride, you should start eating after some 30 minutes. And super important advice here is, it's like a rule of thumb, you should never start eating when you are already hungry. You should always start eating before you get hungry. That's why timing means a lot for you. And I would say after 30 minutes, we just take like a bite. You don't have to eat like a whole sandwich or whole banana. I'm talking about sandwiches here because really, if you want to just do this 100 miles ride, you don't have to think about like super professional cycling food like power gels and so on. If you can afford them, if it's fine for you, just use them. But some good sandwiches with some, I don't know, peanut butter and jelly and maybe even some slice of cheese, because you need fat for this low intensity long ride, would be just fine. So you don't eat a whole sandwich, a whole banana. You just take 1 or 2 bites, and you do it regularly over the period of your ride. Now, drinking. If we don't drink, if we dehydrate, we will have lots of problems with our muscles, because water and electrolytes in the water support our neuromuscular system, and that's something that we really need during our rides. So get used to the position on the bike by cycling maybe at least 3 times a week. At least one like long ride would be fine. Like if you're able to do like 3 hours, maybe then 4 hours, that will be just great. And fueling. You should be drinking often. You should be eating. Sorry for my language here. You should be eating just before you get really hungry. And this 100 miles ride will be like your epic ride, and will give you a lot of fun. One more advice at the end here is that would be really good for you to try to find out how long it could take for you. And remember, if it gets windy, on the windy day, 100 miles ride will be completely different thing when it's not windy. So remember about that. If you're gonna do some hilly terrain, it will be also different stuff. So if you are not riding on the hilly terrain and then you do your 100 miles ride in the mountains, that can be really tough. And also try to find out what's your average speed on like let's say 30 miles ride. It would be somewhere around, I don't know, 17 miles per hour or something like that. Remember that it will be much less when you do like 100 miles ride. So don't think that okay, I'm doing like 17 miles per hour, so this amount of hours will be enough for 100 miles. It doesn't work like that. Also, when you start your 100 miles ride, always start like super easy, much easier than you think that you'll be able to go for, because your average speed will really go down through the hours of your ride. So that's what I wanted to share with you on this episode. Give me some thumbs up if you like the topics of training. I love it. I love being outdoors, and I'm gonna do much more now when we have here in Poland much better weather. Regards from Cannondany, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.